guys, Pat Tokoyama here, creator of All Day I Eat Like a Shark. In this video I wanted to do a review of the DJI Osmo Pocket 2 and specifically the creator combo along with the DJI extension stick and the Freewell ND filters. So first, let's talk about why I purchased this in the first place. So I do a lot of travel and I wanted to try using this thing because of the small form factor. I wanted something that was easy to carry, was convenient, and not too flashy. As you may know, if you have like a big, DSLR or mirrorless camera, it's pretty big and obvious that you have a camera as compared to something small like this. So that was really the main reason, and I wanted the gimbal for stabilization when walking and doing outdoor stuff. So this seemed to be like the best option at the time. I've had this for several years now since it came out, and I wanted to just share some of the experience I've had with it, some of the pros and cons, and hopefully that'll help you with your buying decision. So first, let's go ahead and start with the pros and cons. So the pros, I'm going to say that the first most important thing, like I mentioned, is that it's small, it's convenient to carry, it's relatively discreet because it's small. Obviously people may not look at it closely. It might look like you're just holding your hand out with something in it versus a giant camera, which was really important to me. It's also convenient because it's small. You can just put it in your pocket. It doesn't take up too much space. So that's the first pro. Second is that the video quality is relatively good. Is the same camera that's used on their drone. The sensor's not too big. Hopefully in the next version they'll upgrade it. But the quality that you get, especially when you're shooting video in well-lit areas, like during the day, is pretty good. The battery life, I know some people have complained that the battery life doesn't last too long, but I think usually for my use cases, it's enough for you to last at least an hour or so, at the very least. And because I got the creator combo, it came with the microphone, which has very good audio. Some people say that you have to be close when talking through the mic, but I found that you don't have to be too close. I think if you wear it here where it's supposed to be worn, you'll be good. The last thing is the device is very feature-packed. So I think I would recommend that you use the smartphone app if possible when paired with the extension rod. It does make using the device a lot easier versus having to swipe through the tiny little screen through all the different corners here. You can see here how that gives you all the different menus. So you can swipe left, swipe right, swipe down, and swipe up. And that gives you all the different settings. So if it is a relatively small screen, that actually brings us into some of the cons. So the interface is not that easy to use, and it's not that intuitive. But I think if you spend a few minutes getting used to where things are, it'll come naturally and you'll pick it up right away. Alternatively, if you use the smartphone app, the Mimo app, which also has a lot of criticism, I think that's a lot easier to use in my opinion. So if you can, consider using that as well. So the second con, I think the magnet here on the lens could definitely be stronger, especially for the wide angle lens, which I do not have anymore because I lost it. It's supposed to actually fit in this area right here with the magnets and secure onto that area there with the magnet. But on one of my trips, one of my very first trips actually, it just fell off and I don't know what happened to it. The other thing, so that's the second con. The third con is that the lens doesn't have a cover. So I usually keep it in here. This is the cover that it came with to protect it. I think it would have been good to have a lens cover separately as well, but I usually keep it in here just to keep it safe. The fourth con, I would say, is that the little iPhone accessory here for you to plug your phone in this way instead, while it works, if you have an iPhone, it does make the size much bigger. So you're going to have to use two hands most likely because it's not going to be comfortable for you to hold it a long time. And then this tripod is relatively useless in my opinion, just because it's so compact and lightweight. You can only put it on so many surfaces without risking tipping this thing over. So I usually use a different tripod instead. So I think those are some of the cons that I can think of at this time for the DJI Osmo Pocket 2 for the gimbal itself. Hopefully that helps you in your buying decision, whether you buy this alone or as part of the creator combo like I did. So the creator combo comes with the mic and I think that's it actually. So yeah, it comes with the mic. So obviously if you're doing talking videos, if you want the audio to sound good, definitely helps to have a mic. So that is the DJI Osmo Pocket 2 Creator Combo. And here, next we're going to be talking about the extension rod. So the extension rod is an accessory, you have to buy it separately, but it actually makes a really big difference as far as using the Osmo. It connects here, you can see where it slides in. It is relatively fragile in my opinion because this is plastic and it just feels like it could break any second, but you just slide it in like that and you secure it like that, and then it's ready to use. You're going to turn the power on here as you normally would, and then this is actually where your phone would be mounted. So it's very secure, it's very tight, and you can go ahead and put it in here like that. And you have a very nice gimbal camera with a nice monitor to see what it is that you're shooting. So what I really like about this stick is that it can extend 29 inches, which is enough for you to get yourself and a group of people in the shot if you're looking backward towards yourself, or just give you a different angle of view from the bottom, from the ground level, or higher up even. So that's one feature or pro. The second, obviously, is it's a great place to put your phone. You just connect via Bluetooth wirelessly, so there's no cables involved. You don't have to worry about that. It's very simple. The microphone actually clips right here. So you can just clip it right there. So as you're talking, you can talk this way with the mic. So that's the third pro. I think those are the most important things. The joystick I think is a little bit easier to use here, and definitely these function buttons can be customized, the C1 and the C2, flipping the camera from forward facing to back facing, and the record button. This also has a tripod mount here on the bottom, so you can screw this into a tripod if you want to. And as far as the cons, it would have been nice to have a battery for this to extend the battery life of the gimbal. The second thing is that, like I mentioned, the build quality of this section here is questionable. I feel like if you drop it, it'd probably break, and maybe people have broken it. The third thing I think is, like I mentioned at the very beginning when I was talking about how it's small and discreet having the Osmo Pocket is, it definitely adds a lot to the size and makes it much more bulky. You can see it's more than double the size now, so it's not as portable or discreet as it was initially. The main reason that I bought this was so that I could have additional control of the gimbal without having to use the little joystick set that it initially came with originally, and that I could also mount my phone there. I would say that's probably the main reason that I bought it back then. So hopefully that helps to give you some info there with your buying decision, and we'll go ahead and move on to the last item here. So these are the Freewell, the Osmo Pocket filters here that we have. This is the 8-pack, as you can see here. This is, I think it's called 4K. And there's 8 different filters. 3 of them are just straight ND filters. There's a 4, an 8, and a 16. So the higher the number, the more light that it blocks out. And then the circular ones are actually polarized as well. So there's a 4, 8, and 16 as well. I think one of them is just a polarizer CPLs, so combination ND filter and polarized filter. And there's one just straight polarized filters. If you are getting some very bright scenes in your camera's view, you want to make sure to put one of these ND filters on so that you can use the shutter speed that you want to use. Because if you're shooting at 50 frames per second, for example, which is what I usually shoot at, going outside in the middle of the day, a lot of the video will be blown out because it's too bright. So I usually put on an ND filter, which helps me to maintain that shutter speed and gives you a nice cinematic looking footage. And then the polarizer helps to really bring out some of the natural colors that you might see in footage. So for example, if you're looking at the ocean or a lake, any kind of body of water, you might have a lot of glare bouncing off of that. The polarizer will help to reduce that glare and actually let you see the water more naturally. So those are a few reasons why you might want to get these. Again, pros, they work like they should. The ND filters block the light. The polarizers help to reduce glare and help you see better colors. Cons, I would say, similar to the wide angle filter of the Osmo, these magnets are not that strong, so they're very easy to use. I've had a couple fall off, but I haven't lost any. So keep that in mind. Hopefully that helps with your search for the best filters or filter set for your Osmo Pocket. And I think we'll go ahead and wrap. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.